If your iPhone battery is draining fast, then this is how you can fix it. By the way, if you're new here, then make sure you subscribe. So the first thing you'd want to do is to go to settings on your iPhone. Then you go to battery, the battery option here. Then what you see here is you see a graph here showing the average usage as well as the apps that are using your battery. Go to battery health and charging. This will show you the maximum capacity for your battery at that current moment. In general, if it's below 80%, then it might now require professional replacement. However, there are some iPhones which still work even when they are below 80% very well. So this is not sort of a given to say if it's below 80%, it will not work properly or your battery will not be lasting the entire day. So I'll click back here, then I'll click view all battery usage. Now, under this option, you see battery usage by application. This will show you the applications which are using your battery the most, as well as the on-screen time as well. If you click on a specific application to show you a graph with different days here, as well as the usage for your battery for that application. And so this will tell you or give you an informed basis of how applications are using your battery on a day-to-day basis. One of the biggest items which drains your battery is background activity. And so you go to settings, general, and then you scroll down, you see background app refresh. Then you click on it. So you see all these applications toggled on, which means they are refreshing in the background. And also this option here, if you click on it, it means all these applications are refreshing their data when on Wi-Fi or even on mobile data. If you select Wi-Fi, it means only on Wi-Fi. If you are using your mobile data, it will not refresh in the background or those applications will not refresh. Then if you turn off, it means no application will refresh in the background. You need to open an application for content to actually refresh on that application. The general norm would be if you have this setting or even Wi-Fi on, you then go here, then select the specific applications which you would want to actually refresh in the background. Let's say WhatsApp, because obviously you'd want new messages to come in. You just leave that on, but you toggle off other applications which you do not really use, which are just refreshing in the background regardless. So what this does is it allows apps to refresh their content when on Wi-Fi or on mobile network in the background. So turning off specific apps actually preserves the battery life. And so this is the best solution which you might have for your iPhone to turn off specific applications in terms of background refresh or on your iPhone. Something else which might drain your battery continuously, you go to settings, then you scroll down to privacy and security. You click on location services here. Now under location services, you see all these applications as well, which are using your location services. You see this option while using. It means they're using your location whilst you are actually using the application. So if you are not on the application, it will not use your location. So this is generally what you would want in that situation to say, if you open an application, that's when the location services are activated. However, if you have, let's say, let's select Dower delivery like this, then you say always like this. If you have an option like this where it says always, what this means is your location is being requested for by this specific application always, even if you are not on the application specifically, but your location is still being requested by that application. And so what this does, unfortunately, is it will drain your battery because it will be constantly using your location services always, even if your phone is on standby mode, etc. So the best solution here is to simply just keep on while using. If you'd not want to actually use these, you just say never. But while using is the best approach, so that when you open an application, that's when location services are actually activated. Another option is also to look at the brightness of your phone. So these are the options. You go to settings, display and brightness. You can select dark mode because dark mode would help you to sort of reduce that brightness, but it would only work in specific scenarios, of course. And in specific scenarios, it might not work as much. There's also an option under this display and brightness. If you scroll down, you see raise to wake. What raise to wake does is, if it's toggled on like this, whenever I raise my iPhone or I just lift it up, as if I'm now trying to use it, it will just wake up the iPhone. So it will switch on automatically after recognizing that I have raised the iPhone. So if I toggle it off like this, what it means is if I raise my iPhone, it will actually wait for me to actually touch the iPhone so that it wakes up the iPhone in aspect. So I'll show you an example of raise to wake like this. I'll just lift it up like this. Then you can see it will wake up the iPhone. But if I turn off the option like this, then try raise to wake again, you see nothing will work. It will wait for me to actually touch the iPhone so that it actually wakes up the iPhone. Another option which you might want to check, you go to settings, accessibility, display and text size. Scroll down, you see this option, auto brightness. So turning off auto brightness may affect battery life, energy consumption, and long-term display performance. Auto brightness, what it does is it sets brightness based in accordance with wherever you are. So it doesn't set brightness at a specific point to say, if I toggle it off and I set my brightness here to high like this, right? It means each time I'm opening my iPhone, whether I'm in the sun, outside, indoors, at night, wherever I am at, the brightness will always be at high. So auto brightness, what it does is it sets in accordance with the place where you are. So as you can see here, I had set it to full like this. If I say auto brightness, because I have this light, which is sort of shining on the iPhone here, it will set in accordance based with where it's at, right? And so you can see it has reduced that brightness slightly. So auto brightness might also help you in specific scenarios to actually let the iPhone help you to save your battery based on specific settings. Then I think as a last option, if you are really trying to save your battery at a specific time, you can turn off low power mode. So what this does is it temporarily just stops background refresh, etc., all those items which we were discussing. It will temporarily just manage those items. And so low power mode will save your battery within a specific time or moment. I do not recommend using this, of course, like continuously, because it will affect certain things that you might want to use, like those background syncs, etc. So if you want to manually configure these, then it will be best maybe to just follow all these steps which we discussed here and configure those separately. Then for this option, you can use it possibly if you are really in a pinch or your battery is really low, and then you set low power mode so that you can save your battery more. It's also always recommended to update your phone regularly because some of these will be bugs that might affect your battery as well. So updating your phone will also help you in that aspect.